Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, ways to stay clean. I know this might sound trivial or redundant, but sometimes we can forget this routine that we do every time, multiple times a day. Proper sanitation in the home and good hygiene prevents the spread of germs and can decrease the likelihood of us getting sick. Today, I want to go over some basic routines that we should keep in mind to help us keep safe and clean. Before we begin, I want to thank my lovely assistant Sergio for demonstrating for us some ways to stay fresh and clean. Hand washing. We do it all the time, but are you actually cleaning your hands the right way? Take a look at this scenario. How many of you do the rinse and dash? I know sometimes I can be guilty of it too, but in order to stop the spread of COVID-19, we need to nip it in the butt. To remember good hand washing, always follow this simple rule. Nip. Nails in between fingers and palms. In order to really get those hands clean, it is important to wash smart and effectively.
Here we see Sergio taking a piece of paper towel, placing it atop for layer. He is now washing his hands, making sure that they're very wet and ready for soap. He's now taking the bar of soap and lathering his hands well, making sure that he gets enough of the soap all over his hands. He's going on the fronts and the backs of his hands, making sure both hands are covered in sufficient amount of soap to make sure they're clean. Now Sergio is implementing the nip method. He's starting with his nails. He's doing the in-between each finger. It's important to make sure that you do both hands to ensure that you are properly getting into all the nooks and crannies. Now he is working on his palms, where he is making sure to get all the dirt and grime and potential virus off of each of his palms, going down to the wrists. And now he is just finishing up any last minute areas that he missed, and soon he will be rinsing his hands of all the soap. Now he is ready to rinse his hands off. He is now just gently going over, making sure to get all the soap, all the extra debris out. And grabbing the paper towel, he is closing the sink faucet off with that and drying off.
Sometimes we can get a little hasty with hand sanitizer. Again, watch this video and think about what Sergio did incorrectly. In order for Sergio to get the most out of his hand sanitizer, he needs to make sure he is getting the gel all over his hands and make sure he fully rubs it in. Hand sanitizer is good for on-the-go cleaning, such as getting into the car or leaving a public place, or when water is not accessible. But it should not replace good old-fashioned hand washing. Hand sanitation, using hand sanitizer, should be used as a last-ditch resort, or if other means of cleaning your hands is not accessible at the moment.
Sometimes we need to grab groceries or leave the house, and it's really important to make sure we keep things clean and not bring in any unnecessary germs. Here in this video, we see Sergio returning from the grocery store. He got the necessary supplies. Notice how he contains himself to one specific area. After he places the groceries on the shelf, he begins to take off his shoes and spray the bottoms of them to kill any potential germs. He then removes his outer jacket into the localized basket so he can clean and ready to go, and now he's ready to enter his house.
What you don't want to do is to track the outside all over the house. It is important to pick a designated location and to place any outside items there to localize the spread of outside germs. If you are a person working with the public, it is best to have an area to remove outside clothes closest to the laundry room. If you just sit down on the couch in your work clothes, you could be spreading the germs around. It is important to find a coming home routine that best fits your needs and your household. Let's take a look back at what Sergio is doing next.
Here in this scenario, Sergio is wiping down his groceries. He is making sure to clean touch surfaces as to not to spread any germs. He placed his clean groceries in a safe box and then transports them into the kitchen to be put away. Sergio is really making sure to keep his house safe and clean during this COVID-19 pandemic. After he's done, he makes sure to go back and clean the area where he came in to prevent any further spread of the virus.
The CDC states to always make sure high traffic areas are clean and disinfect with EPA approved cleaning products. Making homemade cleaners run the risk of not having effective cleaning supplies, or worse, getting yourself and your family members sick. You can check out their website for more approved ways to keep your household and self clean and safe from COVID-19. We would like to thank our amazing community partner at the Flint Development Center, as well as our sponsor at the University of Michigan Flint, Flint's Truth and Action Partnership Project, coordinated through the Office of University Outreach, funding provided by W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Without these amazing people, this project would not be possible. As always, myself and other people involved in this project want you to stay safe and healthy during this COVID-19 process. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please submit them below or follow the link in the description to see more resources at your fingertips. Stay safe out there, Flint.